We can celebrate his birthday anywhere in the world. He's celebrating with us. He said it's okay if I call him Daddy. Daddy cool. I don't know.
Daddy.
Not loud enough?
That's an average stepdaddy. Last week. Oh my God, you missed it.
If she asks if that's loud enough, then you're doing something wrong.
That's how we got kicked out of the Holiday Inn.
Mavric, you told me you'd never tell. Well, all right, so we're celebrating my my birthday a week early tonight, and I would like everyone to give a round of applause to Angela, who pulled this all off. The only person in my life to pull off a surprise birthday party without me finding out. And the thing is, I don't go looking for this information. I tell people, don't lie to me. Never lie to me, because I will find out the truth. I don't go looking for it. Someone will just open their mouth and just let it slip. So, also, I just added this onto my roster tonight because Alyssa's wearing the Danzig shirt. And when I was in high school, one of the teachers lived by a plant that made stickers.
Was that like 5 years ago?
And like 20 onto that. So he would come in and have all these cool heavy metal band stickers. So I got a whole bunch. I'm putting them all over my room. So I put Danzig with the skull right over my closet. I come home from school, my mom's laughing. And I'm like, what's so funny? She goes, all right, so your father talked to me last night. And I'm like, all right. And she was like, I think we have to have a conversation about our son. She's like, why? She goes, I think he might be a Nazi. She's like, why do you think that? He goes, well, he's got a sticker that says Danzig over his closet, and you know Camp Danzig from the Holocaust. She's like, no, that's a guy's name. And he goes, where are these coming up with these names for these bands? So, I also have to say a big thank you to everyone, and for Teddy for hosting open mic and giving me the opportunity to do this, and giving me the challenge to work without using the F word. Because a friend of mine, we did a show called Creature Feature in Gettysburg this weekend, and my friend comes up to me on Friday and goes, I think I accidentally threw you under the bus. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, well, the guy running the show, Craig, said he doesn't have anyone to host the costume contest. So I said, have Jack do it. And I'm like, oh, I'm perfectly fine with being thrown under that bus. What they didn't tell me is as I walk up, I have to organize this whole thing. The children category, the adult category. I get there, I ask the people who are running everything and all the lights and the sound equipment, I'm like, so what do you want me to do? It's like, oh, you've got to put this all together. Really? He goes, well, wait for Craig. I'm like, okay. So they give me a microphone, and I've got families, children, and people like myself. So I start doing all the bits that I've done here without cursing. But it wasn't even just no F-bombs. I have little kids like sitting like 5 feet away from me. I'm like, I can't even curse. I'm like, wait a minute, they all watch public television and public access and regular cable, or streaming or whatever, and they have the internet. So I'm like, I let a hell on a damn slip. But we pulled it off, but I had to organize the children's costume contest, and it was the crowd who chose who won. So I had to hold my hand over everyone's head, and everyone would cheer. And this one girl was dressed up as the daughter from Beetlejuice. And she comes up with the book. She's got the hat, the black jacket. She is Winona Ryder incarnate from that movie. She's even got the look. So I'm like, all right, people are cheering for her, but then people are cheering louder for everyone else. So I'm like, okay, go to your parents. And she just stares at me, and I'm like, this kid's gonna kill me. So I'm like, so then finally, like, who does this one belong to, please? And the mother comes right here. Come here, honey. And she just looks at me and walks away. And I'm like, I'm gonna have nightmares. So, but yes, I was able to pull this off, and I ended up doing 15 minutes of comedy like I do here, and not one curse word out of my mouth. I know my son would be proud. I know my son would be proud on that one. So, there were two people Angela and I really wanted to meet there from this amazingly awesome, horrible movie that probably Angela, myself, and Mavric are the only people here who have seen it, called Velocipaster. And yes, the name tells you exactly what it is. It is about a priest who turns into a velociraptor. And I don't care what anyone says, it's such an awesome, horrible movie. The costume literally looks like a papier-mâché T-Rex. But on the ride home, after hanging out with them, we got to hang out with them, we got to drink with them, Angela got high with them, and on the ride home, I'm like, they should write a sequel. I'm like, wait a minute, I should write a sequel. So, Velocipaster 2, Velocipaster versus... What's the, oh my God. The guy that runs for Jewish synagogues and everything. What's it called? Rabbi Rex. Velocipaster versus Rabbi Rex. And then we just kept going and going. And I'm like, this has gone too far. So that was really, really funny. And a lot of fun. And they are two of the nicest people. And I love, like, I've met people who've done, like, backyard movies that are filmed in someone's basement. And they just think they're hot stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm hot shit. I'm like, no one's ever seen your movie. They're like, who are you? Who? Never heard of you. Meanwhile, then you meet people who've done these movies that know it's something fun, it's a cult classic, and then they appreciate, because you're like, if it's not for people like me buying these DVDs, they'd have no career. So, I'm gonna change it. I don't do transitional material, in case you haven't figured out, but I have 3 types of toilets in my house. The first one is the master bedroom toilet, and it's one I don't like. It's called the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, and then it flushes. You literally have to hold the handle and count down, or it doesn't. And when you're half asleep and you go in the middle of the night, 3 times back and forth. Then there's the one in the hallway, and I call this one the double flush. You flush it, drains completely, refills, and then drains again. So there's no evidence left behind. But my favorite one is the half bathroom downstairs, because I decorated it like a punk rock, heavy metal horror bathroom without all the urine on the floor and disgusting things written. It's like nicely, like movie posters, band posters and stuff. You just, one flush, everything's gone. That's the kind I appreciate. And I wish that one was in the bathroom upstairs so I don't have to stand there while I'm half asleep. You ever flush a toilet and fall asleep waiting for it to flush? Because I have. You wake up like an hour later. And then you turn around and you realize you didn't close the door and you walk face first into it.
Oh my god.
Then you have a black eye and I lie and tell people my girlfriend abuses me. But everyone knows it, so it's like, she wouldn't lay a hand on you. So while we were in Gettysburg, there was a little prelude into Saturday night. I got a warm-up session at the bar with 2 young ladies and my crew. We were hanging out, and this girl Alexis we're talking to tells us she's asexual. Now it's already 12:30 at night, and I have a few drinks in me. Big surprise. And I look at her, I'm like, asexual. I'm like, does this mean you only have sex with yourself? Or wait. Or does this mean it's only sex with people whose names start with the letter A? Or is it like or is it one of those fetish kink things where it's the actual giant letter A and you just have sex with that? Or, and I really hope it's not this one, it's like, or do you just date assholes? Now, I just kept going on, and they are all dying. And the funny thing is, Angela's heard all this stupid stuff before, and she's laughing just as hard as the people who are hearing it the first time. Like, I think I'm onto something. So if the fang business ever goes under, I still have a career as a comedian. So, who here remembers the song, the Pina Colada song? All right. I want a sequel to that song called You were gonna cheat on me? Everyone, because think about it. You're gonna leave your significant other. So you go and you meet this mystery person you've been talking to. We'll modernize it. You've been talking to on Craigslist. That's about as modern as I can get with that song. And you sit down, like you really be like, ha, it's you. And you be like, you? It's like I can't get away from you even in the fantasy realm. So I started a joke because I have this shirt called Small Town Cult Leader. So I'm devising my own cult. We finally found the communion wine this weekend. We were out of Sheets. Girls are getting sandwiches and I'm browsing at the wine. So I'm like, I'm gonna bring home something nice for mom and dad. Well, I found one I'm buying for mom and dad and myself. It was literally called Purple Rain. So I'm like, and I'll stand there just like an idiot. Purple rain, purple rain. And then I realized, I'm out in public and people can see this. So I buy it. So now on Sunday, I always wear this white shirt that says Small Town Cult Leader. So I'm walking around the vendor floor. Would you like to partake in communion from your Small Town Cult Leader? I got a few followers, but here's the rules. The rules are, you can worship whoever you want, as long as it's legal and not hurting anything. In our cult, you can do whatever you want. Our prince is Prince. Our God is Godzilla. I'm so happy people cheered at that one because I did that joke once before. I'm like, damn. Marty, I think I need your glasses. No, I'm only kidding. So, there's only 2 on this list, but I still was able to put lists for Mavric because he likes them when I do lists. These are jokes. People don't find them amusing when they're happening to you. So, this was written about I wrote this joke a year ago about a friend of mine who I met because I was talking to this young lady at the show last year that we did last weekend. I was the only person not trying to sleep with this woman. So she appreciated that. So she started dating someone and I said, so I wrote this joke that when I meet her boyfriend, I'm going to say, I have so much respect for your woman that if she came on to me, I would kick her out of bed. And you're all thinking, what's not funny about that? That's respectable. Here's the funny part. They don't appreciate when you say, because there's more room on the floor. And that's a groaner, I know. Now, have you ever been in a car with someone and they just are a little too close to the car in front of them and you're just holding on to that shit handle? So this happened to be about a week ago. I'm not going to say who was driving, Angela. And I just said, if the asshole in front of us stops short, we're going to meet them. She thought it was funny. And I will close with a story about my mom and dad, who I wish were here tonight, but they finally bought a place in, do you remember the town? I can't remember the town. I can't remember what town I'm living in. And so where I grew up, we had German neighbors. And if you have any German friends and have ever drank with them, they take their drinking seriously. My mom's Scottish. She can hang, but she can't hang with Germans. My dad's Italian. He can't hang with Germans. So a friend of mine had passed away, and I went over and talked to my mother about it because we had bought tickets to go to a movie, and I just didn't feel right because I got a voicemail from a friend of mine who's always laughing and silly, and he's crying on my answer machine. So I pick up my phone, I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, Megan died last night. I'm like, so I didn't know how to handle this because I was only like 20, 21 at the time. So I'm like, I'm gonna go talk to my mother because my mother has this very settling way on how, it's just a gift mothers have. They know what to say to their children to calm them down and bring them to a focused sense of reality. So my mom said, is missing the movie gonna bring your friend back? And I'm like, well, no. And she goes, you already bought the tickets, right? Yeah. Now, logically, if your friend was able to communicate with you, do you think your friend would want you to miss the movie? And I'm like, no. She goes, you can mourn later. Go enjoy the movie with your friends and then come up. So I did that. The movie was funny. It was Shanghai Noons. It was a sequel to Shanghai Nights, or whichever. I always get the two of them confused. I haven't watched either one of them in so long. Come home later that night, and back then, when I was younger, I would write all the time. And I either did poetry or I'd write a song, and I'm like, I'm going to be dark, brooding, gothic, poetic. No, what's the word? Pathetic. That's what I was back then. So I'm sitting there trying to write down everything. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, so I'm thinking my parents are fast asleep. I'm wide awake. So it's beginning of spring, so the windows are open. All of a sudden I hear these 2 jackasses outside laughing, screaming, talking really loud, sounding like they're falling all over themselves. My first thought is, I'm like, they're going to wake my parents, and I'm going to get in trouble, and this isn't even my fault. So I go to the window and I wait. I know those voices. It's my parents. And I'm like, so I go downstairs and I'm at the door, and my mom and dad walk in. I'm like, Mom, Dad? I'm like, hi, how are you? And I'm like, you guys all right? And then my mom has this quick wit about her, and she goes, well, you know, you came over and told us the story about your friend, so we got really sad, so we drowned our sorrows in alcohol. My jaw just hits the floor, and my mom's like, I'm kidding. My dad goes, what time is it? And I'm like, 3 o'clock in the morning. My mom's like, oh my God, we've got to go to bed. We got to clean the house tomorrow. We got to go to church. And I'm sitting there, what a bunch of bullshit. You're going to be so hungover. You're not doing anything tomorrow. I wake up at 9:30. They're cooking breakfast because they cleaned half the house already. They went to early mass. And I'm like, you know what? When I grow up, I want to be like Mom and Dad. My name's HSJ Jack. My real name's Andrew. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mavric.
All right, one more round of applause and a happy